Have you got the new tracks?
Hey, good evening, everybody. Good evening. And I welcome you to the Madhouse for our very first episode. My name's Adam Feasey. This is my co-host, Mark David Stallard. Say hello, Mark.
How you all doing? And I also bid thee welcome to the Madhouse. Doing well. There's exciting times here. Exciting times.
And our guest tonight, the absolutely awesome, one of the most hard-working musicians in the business, Mr. GIZZ BUTT. How's it going, dude?
It's going very well. I'm not confused at all. It's great.
Technology confuses everyone, mate. Trust me. We've been trying to make this work properly for a couple of weeks now, so just glad we finally got there. So, just to put everyone in the know, this show is primarily designed to just help promote musicians who, through the obvious situation at the moment, have lost a lot of work and need your support. And GIZZ is one of the hardest working people I've ever met. Frontman of JANUS STARK currently, but has been in so many bands throughout the years. Oh, what's going on with the light? I'm loving your lighting tonight, GIZZ.
Disco. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm going for that kind of, with the Beatles cover.
Nice.
I love it, mate. I love it. So, GIZZ, we're going to go through most of your career tonight, to be honest. I want to ask one big question that I don't think I asked when we met. What was that first band you ever heard that was that made you think, wow, I have to pick up a guitar. I have to be like them?
Well, you're talking about prehistory now. So, I mean, I guess, I was kind of like, I was having those feelings with Sex Pistols, but I was having it with the Beatles as well. Lynyrd Skynyrd. I know it seems an odd choice, but my brother brought home a Lynyrd Skynyrd, probably the first album, actually. There was a song on it called Things Going On.
Oh, awesome song.
You know it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really sort of tasty country picking. And when I first heard that, I just thought, whoa, God, I mean, to me at that time, that sounded like as good as what anyone can be on the guitar, But then punk came along, and for me, that was the voice, that was my voice. But, I was, before punk, I was listening to music anyway, because it was quite a musical household.
Oh, yeah. Much the same here, to be honest. I mean, obviously, your music with JANUS STARK, very punk, like it's called, but lovely vocal harmonies going on as well. I remember when I first saw you guys, I'll be honest, I hadn't heard of you. And you come on stage, and that was no support band set. That was a headline-worthy set. Like, the harmonies just on point, everything loud as hell. You as a frontman, just amazing.
Thank you so much, Adam. I mean, I guess it's the sound that we all like. Quite lucky, actually. There's the guys that I'm in a band with. I mean, you're talking about the lockdown and how people feel. We are all such good friends. We really help each other. And, this lockdown does test people, doesn't it? There's people falling out over nothing, over nonsense. And, I'm quite lucky to be in a band where we all not only kind of really like each other, we are each other's best mates and all that kind of thing, but we also we all share the same love for the similar sounds, So yeah, we all love like the harmony vocal kind of stuff. It's just something that picks us up. We like harmonies. It's just one of those things that gives us a smile on our faces.
Ah, yeah. No, that's awesome. I mean, when a lot of people think of punk music, they think very simple, like one vocal that's really almost shouty a lot of the time. They don't instantly think of sounds like what you guys have got going on. And I mean, you got a new album out earlier this year, Angel in the Flames.
Yeah.
I believe that's only actually the second full-length Janus Stark album.
Yeah, it is, because we had such a massive gap between albums, mainly because we split up and I just followed different directions. And it was also because, as a guitar player, I kind of get the demons in my head quite often and telling me that I need to go down my guitar playing road.
Yeah.
And I guess it didn't dawn on me that I could do Janus Stark and also I could be fulfilling my guitar requirements or just wishes or my dreams, if you like, as well. You know, we, as well as the harmony vocals, and by the way, there's plenty of bands that do great vocal. I mean, Bad Religion, fantastic. I mean, I've always liked the early 76, 77, 78, you know, some of the vocals then, The Damned on the Music for Pleasure album. It's just Dave
Love The Damned.
I mean, I think that, you know, Johnny Rotten, before he was John Lydon, when he was Johnny Rotten, I actually thought he had a great voice. I don't like his voice in public image. It's a different voice and I don't like it. I like his voice in the Sex Pistols. I think it's a great tone. And there were also bands such as Generation X. He had a fantastic voice. I mean, you could have the lyrics that talk about identity, that talk about, you know, discovering our past, our history, our politics, our condition, you know, what we need, what we are, what we need to find out about ourselves. And questioning, you know, what maybe some people have done before us, and maybe breaking the chains, breaking the patterns, but also doing it all with music that you love. I mean, if you want to use 3 chords, that's all right. But, you know, I've just always, you know, if I didn't get into my guitar, I probably would have got into, you know, burglary. I mean, it's just what I came from Manchester, and it was one of those things. It was kind of like you either get an opportunity, or it's very likely that you're going to go down the route of falling into crime. It's just it just was like that in the area that I grew up.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, no, having grown up, having grown up in England. I mean, I'm not sure if you realize, because we didn't get much chance to talk before, but I'm actually here in Winnipeg, in Canada. I've been here about 30 years, but I did, obviously you can tell I originally came from England. There's a little hint in my voice. But having grown up then as well, I kind of started playing when I was 15, 16, and that was the first year really was Margaret Thatcher's era. And yeah, there was no jobs, there was no hope. And it was at that time, just coincidentally, that I picked up a guitar. And I think that it was my best, literally my, for a good year and a half. And it was probably the only person I ever really talked to. It definitely gets to those low moments and kept me out of trouble. And now I've got a skill that, you know, it still brings me great pleasure now. So I definitely know where they're coming from on there.
Giz, I've had a question in the chat come in. Obviously, you have been doing this a long time now. How would you describe the way creating music has changed over the years? For example, how it's changed between now and the start of your career? That's from my friend Wolfie in Bristol.
Well, I mean, I just creating music. You won't believe this, Adam. I've just tried something and I've got my Focusrite coming through.
Oh!
You won't believe it. So but anyway, in answer to that question, well, I think that one of the main things that's changed is that now I'm not trying to say that I've got cleverer. I I think I've just built up more things. So I've read more books. I've spoke with more people. So now when I write a song, especially the lyrics, I generally tend to find myself kind of like putting it through a filter and rewriting it. So I'll get a basic idea, and I always believe that keep your basic ideas. The basic ideas are actually all right. You know, go with them, but just rewrite them and just kind of keep putting them through the filter until you get the real you, because you start off with these ideas and they're all good, you know, they're blessings really. Keep all the ideas, build them up, and then readdress them, go back to them, you know, get them more in the form of something that you know, this is what I'm trying to say, this is what I want, I won't be embarrassed about this in years to come. You know, I mean, I must admit, sometimes I write a song, I write a kind of prototype lyric, you know, not meaning it to be the final lyric. And there have been times when, unfortunately, that's been it, you know. I didn't give myself the opportunity to rewrite the lyric, and I wish I had, you know. And nowadays I tend to make sure that I do.
Just go back over it again and again and really hone.
Make sure it's doing it right, like how I want it to say it. So look, I'm gonna try this thing again. Okay, watch this. Switching on my lights.
It's a lovely studio you got there, by the way, GIZZ.
My shed. This is really my shed.
Awesome.
Adam has to do his show from the woods, so yeah.
Let's just see now if this works out. Hold on. Because Christ, let's put my ears in. So I'm just going to click on the Scarlet. I wonder if it's going to do anything.
I think you are coming through your mic more now, mate.
1, 2.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Have we got more quality?
Yeah, it is a little bit better actually.
I wish I could hear you better. I mean, you're still coming through the computer. You're not coming through my headphones.
Oh, fair enough. But you can hear me okay, yeah?
I can, but I'm just wondering if there's an output. Select a speaker. Scarlet.
There you go.
Hey!
Eureka!
Right,
This is fun.
everyone in the chat, I just want to say, we were trying to sort this out before the show, and we were all there like, oh, this ain't going to work. We're just going to use this internal microphone, so this is quite a
that's what
victory.
was happening. Oh, you want to bet? Now, hold on. There's one other thing that's going to happen, Adam.
Yep.
Don't worry. I can see that you're
worried
shaking
now.
a bit.
I'm worried.
All right. So, no, I'm checking the network. So, we're on cable. I can bring off the wireless, keep it stable. We've just come off wireless.
Hey.
Ooh.
We're just on cable now.
We're getting grounded now, aren't we?
We're getting grounded.
So, ladies and
I'll turn the light off again in a minute, and then you'll know I'll be super confident then. Let's see what's going on. So we got some sound.
Hey! Everyone in the chat, can you hear Gizz's guitar?
No, because he's not playing it, Adam.
Well, when he played it just then.
Let me get this one. Okay, back in.
Yes, Giz. That's awesome. That's awesome. You're gonna play us something for us then, bro.
Shalem, by the way, in the chat, Shalem says he can hear the guitar, so we're all good.
He can.
Yeah.
He can hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, look, I mean, because I've really just had this land on me, you know, so I'm not prepared at all.
That's all right, mate. Everyone seems quite excited in the chat just to hear you play a little something. So, whatever you want to do is completely cool with us.
Can we I'm going to change my tuning a little bit, you know, because
Oh, of course, mate.
if I try and sing too high, I'm going to have a bowel movement.
We've all been there.
Have you? Oh, God. Wait, that's the thing.
over the years, it didn't occur to me before is that I thought the key I wrote the song in is the one I have to perform it in. It was 5 or 10 years ago. My one of my good friends, his wife just came up to me and just basically said, "Why don't you just play in a different key?" And then I'm like, "Well, yeah." So from then on, I've always, I'm straining. Take it down a notch. Yeah.
See,
well, you know when you find the right key, it's when you haven't kind of like put a cupcake in your pants.
That's right. Yeah.
So let's see what we've got going on over here.
also,
Oop,
oh dear.
we froze.
So that's my test.
That's cool.
For
Zoom just kind of freaked for a second, but then it's all good. I think it was just like, oh, what's this? Hello, adjust. But yeah,
it said it here as well.
GIZZ, I did have a very nice comment in the chat just now that I think you'll want to hear.
Yeah.
Alex Wayne says, right after you played that first little bit of shredding, and just like that, I'm going to not bother playing guitar anymore. He's too good.
It's just not, you shouldn't worry about stuff like that. I mean, it's all just fun. I mean, it's, listen, if just playing the guitar kind of keeps me alive. And I really enjoy watching other guitarists that are, some days I'll go online and I'll watch a guitarist and I'll think, because I'm not maybe having a bit of a rough day and I haven't been playing for a while. I might not have been practicing for a little while or something. I'll see someone else playing and I think, oh God, they're far better than me. But then when I'm in the right mood, I'll just think, oh, it's so good that there's people out there doing that.
Yeah, of course. Are you going to do a little song for us, GIZZ?
I can do it now, yeah? Do you want me to do it now?
Yeah.
I'll do that song that I was starting to do. I'll do it now. So
okay, what is this one on GIZZ? Tell the people.
This song is called Shay Wrong. I'm just going to turn my vocal up a little bit. Is that louder?
Yeah, much better.
Okay, so this song is called Shay Wrong. All right, and because JANUS STARK have got 2 new CDs coming out very soon.
Ooh.
And Time and Matter are going to put out 2 new CDs. I've just realized I've still got my glasses on. I look like Joe 90.
Yeah, you're in the Madhouse. It doesn't matter how you look.
No, hold on.
Joe 90 is the coolest guy ever.
Do you know who Joe 90 is? Because if you're Canadian, I'm kind of don't know if you even know.
No, I grew up in England, right? I've only been here. I've been first 30 years of my life are in England. So yeah, no, I know Joe 90 inside and out. Captain Scarlets, Thunderbirds.
Okay, so this song is on one of these albums, these new albums. Basically, they're demos. We've got one album called Rewind to A, which is the demos of the Great Adventure Cigar. And they were done 95, 96. And then we've got a bunch of other demos on another album called Shay Wrong. I'm going to play the song Shay Wrong. Well, I'm going to try to anyway. So here we go. It went horrible. Oh, where have you gone?
Oh, no, he was trying to just give you...
Where have you gone?
He was just trying to give you the screen, mate. He was just trying to give you the screen.
I'll come back if you need me.
That's all good.
Yeah, stay there.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's all good. It's all good, man. It's all good.
Hold on a second. Hold on. You know what? I need my glasses on.
It's all good.
And it's funny you say about I don't go 90, but when they were talking about JANUS STARK, I used to read the JANUS STARK comics when I was a kid.
Here we go again. I'm going to try that again now. Watch the muscles twitch. I'm making another air fix. I'm making another shape shift. Frankenstein. In an anorak, looking like a throwback. Can't drag, better make my last crack. Knock you down, need another hunchback. Handsome man I use to watch the clouds. As a child, I'd lay for hours with no clothes on, switch between the sheets of red, stamping in the pools of happiness like the real thing. You are so eloquent and gone, bad shade wrong, bad shade wrong. Will I create the nation strong? Bad shade wrong, bad shade wrong. In a handbag looking like a crocodile, in an x-ray looking like a pedophile. Come finding me and my mademoiselle liberty. Blue blood running through my root joke. Come on, get on, living in the big smoke. Waitress, bring me another Coke. Bloody Mary I use to watch the clouds. As a child, I'd lay for hours with no clothes on, split between the sheets of red, stamping in the pools of happiness like the real thing. You are so eloquent and gone, bad shade wrong, bad shade wrong. Will I create the nation strong? Bad shade wrong, bad shade wrong. wrong, that shade wrong.
GIZZ, that is fantastic, mate. That is fantastic. I am so buying that when it comes.
All enjoying looking at Adam's face throughout the whole thing. It was cute.
Well, I just have to say I'm completely non-prepared. So, you know, what you're seeing is literally just almost like a primal scream, really. It's just
mate, we like that sort of thing here. I gotta say, that song, I really like the chorus in that. Shaleem obviously didn't see you say what album it's from before, so if you could just remind people when that's coming.
This week.
This week. And
yeah, if you look on the Time and Matter, which is the record label, Time and Matter Records, and it's the same record label as the UK subs. It's their record label. And you know the guys in the UK subs like Alvin Gibbs, he's got the album, Alvin Gibbs and the Disobedient Servants.
I love that.
And name. we're on the same label, so why don't I turn the light off?
Yeah,
could be a bit nicer.
You say a lot of that stuff was demos from your first album, Great Adventure Cigar. Is this like just it's stuff that didn't make that album? Obviously, first time.
Well, that was actually a song that was written in '99. Okay. Me and my wife went to Paris, and I was trying to just kind of like come up with some song ideas. I had a bunch of notes, and I guess the whole idea was, I mean, it was this. We was trying this kind of like thing of, you know, like if I come up with an idea, you see what it bouncing off each other, and I was writing down his word association, and I was just sort of like using a load of it. And the title, Shades Wrong, comes from Shades Long, of course, so a piece of furniture. But also Shades Wrong is a play on words, and then again, she's wrong. And but it's kind of like it's portraying a picture of a very powerful woman. It's basically giving power to the ladies, giving power back to the women.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And it's kind of saying that she's Shay's wrong. It's like, you are so eloquent and gone, Shay wrong. And also at the time my wife was pregnant, and we knew that she was going to have Astrid, our daughter. She knew that she was going to have a daughter. We knew we were going to have a girl. So we were thinking we're going to create this girl, and we was having all these mad ideas, you know, like the Frankenstein monster. You know, like we were having these crazy ideas, and we were just writing them down. And it's really just a bit of fun, but kind of giving power. Which I'm, you know, my daughter is a very powerful girl and powerful lady. She's an artist, and she goes to university in Leeds, and she's a strong woman.
Nice. Well, shout out to Astrid if you ever get to see this.
Yeah.
It's definitely shout out to Astrid.
Shout out to Astrid.
Well, I mean, there is other projects of yours that I want to go into a moment. More recently, I started listening to a band you were in called The More I See.
Okay, yeah.
I kept meaning to for a while, and honestly, it just hadn't happened for me. I then listened about 3 weeks ago to some of that stuff, and yeah, you can definitely tell guitar-wise that it's you, but it's got so almost more a metal kind of
of course
kind of thing to it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, before punk came along, partly because of my brother, I was always such a really massive Hendrix fan, and I know that Hendrix doesn't come across as being metal, but you got to remember that in the early 70s, you know, heavy metal then was a whole different thing, you know.
Yeah.
So kind of a lot of Hendrix did a lot of good. He inspired many bands, many players. There's lots of bands that didn't get anywhere that were hugely inspired by Hendrix. You know, powerful guitar sound and strong approach. And and that was like one of my early influences before punk came along. And then I always kind of like noticed that there was, you know, like when bands would have a bit of a Hendrix influence, I'd always spot that, you know. It did happen quite a bit.
Oh, that's awesome.
But then in metal, later on when Metallica came along, I mean, I was kind of like, I was more of a fan of like, you know, Thin Lizzy. Again, you wouldn't call them a metal band now, of course not. But then when Metallica came along, what we were doing in the English Dogs, we kind of thought, hey, there's this band in the States, and they're kind of similar to what we're doing, you know, because in the English Dogs, I mean, let me just see.
Yeah, I was going to come on to English Dogs, but you've led me there anyway.
But let me just try and sort of get a couple of things. Hold on, bear with me. Just going through some sounds. All right, so here we go. So, like the English Dogs, like we'd have a track that goes like, like that kind of thing. And we got that from the Motorhead Iron Maiden side of things, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, punk bands always used to use the palm mute sort of stuff, you know, like the Ruts.
Yeah.
Like that. And then and UK Subs. And as I said earlier on, a lot of the punk bands showed their Hendrix influences, you know, like what was it right now? And that's The Damned, Noise, Noise, Noise. So, you know, there's lots of Hendrix influences with that. And then they'd combine it with these brilliant lyrics. So instead of having lyrics that are embarrassing,
Yeah.
not all metal lyrics are embarrassing. I think Jailbreak's not too bad. That's okay. You know.
One of my favorite riffs ever.
But I mean, sometimes you could have like a lyric that could be deemed cheesy, but the way how it's put across just works really well and gets you moving, you know. Like AC/DC Walk All Over You is just such a great... The Bon Scott could deliver a cheesy lyric with such commitment. You just don't get that, do you? Yeah, I mean,
No.
and that commitment exists in punk rock. But when Crass came along, fuck me, that was another universe. Because then, you know, with them, it was like, to try and give you an idea, they had two guitarists in the band. One of them played more kind of conventional. So let's say, let me try to think now. He goes something like, he might just go something like this.
Oh, it sounds cut.
Just like that's a straight chord, you know, just like a straight minor 7. Or he might go, let's have a look. Just let me think about something. The other guitarist would go like this. He'd have this kind of... Now this ridiculous, this kind of rise up to a high note. And then all the time, this kind of crunchy, this. Let me just try and see if I can get a guitar sound that matches that a bit more. Not that one, obviously. Here we go.
That's so heavy.
I mean, that's like banned from the Roxy. Banned from the Roxy. Okay, Metallica playing there. Anyway, said they only wanted what we hate, boys. So they think we got that from just fucking doors. Fuck them, chosen to make my stand. Guess what I feel is wrong with this land. Just sit there on the overfed arse. Keep not to swear less fortunate class. Think they got the power, got the finger on the bum. Got control, won't let it be forgotten. Proving the realities of what they never done. Bring it up Belfast, that's a fucking fun. See that squatty, line of that's the machine gun, wrestling defense, etc. I mean, you've got this machine gun. It's like a cross between a machine gun and the old sound of a BBC computer that used to use cassettes. And when you'd pull the cassette out of the computer and just played it audio, it made this like. That's the sound that the fucking digital noise on the cassette made.
See, contrary to the belief of some, I am actually old enough to remember cassette tapes. So yeah, I have heard that song before. But do you remember the old sound though of cassettes, BBC computers that computers that used to store data on fucking cassettes? How stupid, how slow and crap is that? I know, right? GIZZ, there is a project that you were involved with that quite a few people have been wanting me to ask you about in the past few days. I think you know what's coming. You played on an album by The Prodigy called The Fat of the Land. And
well, I wouldn't say that I played on the album because really, I just played and then got sampled and sample would be used, and it wasn't even an intentional, I didn't actually, I didn't plan to have it there. I mean, I just got sampled and then the sample was put in the place, that was it. I didn't have any say where it went or anything like that.
Oh yeah, but you also did some touring with them as well.
Oh, a lot.
Oh yeah. So
3 years.
How did it all come about? How did you end up meeting those guys and getting involved in all that?
Well, let me just get rid of this for a second. I mean, I was in a bunch of bands and tried to get somewhere, but of course I eventually kind of like had to make some money. So I got an offer of working at like quite a posh school as a guitar teacher, Stanford Boys School. You might have heard of it. Stanford Boys School is, it's in Lincolnshire. It's quite it's a private school.
I haven't heard of it, honestly, mate, but...
Okay, so I got an offer to work there as a guitar teacher, and the money was good, and I was about 24 or something like that at the time. So I took the offer and started working there, and I was having, I had a band at the same time. And then we had a chance meeting. We ran into Morat. And Morat, if you don't know who Morat is, well, he's mostly known for being a writer for Kerrang. But also there was a time when Morat was one of the faces in London. So like you'd go to a punk gig in London and Morat would always be there, and he always had a huge Mohican. And he kind of resembled Sid Vicious a bit. He had similar kind of face, And so you couldn't help but think, man, this guy's cool. And back in the Destructors days, 81, 82, 83, you used to see him all the time because we played in London all the time. So you used to see him then. And we had a chance meeting with him. And he said, you should get the English Dogs back together. And I just thought, yeah, let's give it a go. So we reformed the English Dogs. And we pretty soon after that got a record deal with a German label called Impact Records. And then they introduced us to a guy called Mitch, and he was the tour booker for The Exploited. So then we end up getting tours, you know, gigging all over Germany because he was German. So we did like the gas countries, and that isn't the countries where the most people fart. It's like Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. And so we did, 6 weeks tours. Wakey couldn't really cope with it. He, you know, I guess it just kind of it stretched him. His mental health deteriorated a bit. So when we came back, we did another long tour. This time it was booked by a guy called Steve Golby, and he was the booker for the UK subs. So then, I mean, I'd already met the subs and played with them before. I've met them before, but now we were meeting as friends. It was a different thing. So I was meeting Charlie Harper, then going down to London and meeting him as a friend, you know. And then we did this tour, and then by the end of this one, Wakey said, you know, I'm not doing any more, that's it. But we'd already started writing another album for the English Dogs. And of course, we wanted to carry on. And so we got this guy called Pid, and he was in a Birmingham punk band called Contempt. And he was one of these lovable guys, but, you know, one of these punk rockers that all the punks love, you know? Yeah. So when we played, when he sung with us, you know, our gigs were full, and we had a lot of people that loved him, and, you know, it was a good time. But we'd do gigs, and he'd just be, we'd go on tour, and he'd just say, oh, I can't play tonight. I can't sing tonight. I'd be like, what? You know, like, I'm too ill. You'll have to do it. And so we'd do gigs, and I'd have to sing, and I was like, you know, crapping myself, but I'd have to sing the gig. But it happened more than once. And then we'd go back home, and we're in the recording studio doing the new album stuff. And then he didn't turn up again. And Andy Sneap was producing us. Andy Sneap's quite a massive producer. And also he plays in Judas Priest now. And Andy just said, why are we messing around like this? Why aren't you singing? It's so obvious. You should just sing, because I was writing the lyrics anyway. So he said, you should sing it. So I got up and sung, and then I ended up singing the whole album and re-recorded all the stuff that Pid did. And then we were going out as a three-piece, and I was a singer, and I was going down to London. I was trying to not only sing, play guitar, I was trying to manage the band as well. And I was constantly bumping into Morat all the time. And, you know, I'd go to London to try and get a break for the band. I was looking for a break. Yeah. A record deal that could work for us, you know, something, because we'd left our jobs in '94. I left that school, you know, I made the plunge, and the other guys in the band, they did the same. So we all made the plunge. We were saying, this is it, we're going to do it now. But really, you know, it was me that was doing it, because I was like managing the band, you know, and I was doing everything. And I was on the dole, and eventually the dole said, you've been on the dole now for 2 years, and, you know, we're going to put you in for Job Club. And I was like, what the fuck's that? You know, I was imagining turning up into a room with, you know, all these people just kind of like, you know, with like 6 fingers, you know, half an eyeball, you know, fins and stuff like that. And just generally kind of like wondering, oh God, what's going to happen now? You know, I'm going to join the Webbed Feet Club. And, but what they said was, what do you want to actually do? And I said, well, I want to get somewhere in the fucking, and then they said, well, look, we'll help you. We'll sort you out with a grant so you can get a new van. We'll get you a grant. We'll get you a market research grant so you can go down to London and hang out with all these bands and stuff. And I was really shocked. And then they said, you can use our telephone anytime you want. So I fucking phoned in Amsterdam. I was phoning America. You know, I was getting my money's worth. And then eventually, because you see, I was having to do a business plan. This was really, really freaky. I had this business advisor, John Malpass, and he says, yeah, you're going to have to do to get your grant, GIZZ, you're going to have to go in front of a board and give a big, I deserve this money because of this. And I said, yeah, I've got this band, and, and I'll give you an idea of what we sound like. And this is no word of a lie. Because I couldn't put on Therapy or something. I couldn't put on China Drum because they're not going to get it, are they? I'm in front of a bunch of straights trying to get money out of them. And this is no word of a lie. I played them Their Law by The Prodigy.
Oh. Oh.
And I got the grant. But the insane thing was that 2 months later, I got a phone call from The Prodigy saying, do you want to join us? And then 2 weeks after that, I was on stage, and the first song I played with them was Their Law.
Oh, man, that is mad. That is so mad.
All I've got to say is that karma works in very mysterious ways. And you could say that almost I was working it up. I was working up this energy to a point where it had to happen.
Mate, honestly, I wish I could have even just seen your face when that phone call came in. And that sounds like one of those. You what? You want me to?
Well, the phone call. No, it wasn't as straight as that. The phone call came from Morat.
Oh.
And the phone call went, I know of a really big band that wants a guitarist. Are you interested? And I said, yeah. I said, look, you've seen the shit that I'm going through week after week. I said, you've seen what I have to do, Yeah, I'm looking for a break. Yeah. And then the next, 20 minutes later, I get a phone call. All right, is that GIZZ? Yeah. Do you know who this is? And I'm like, no. He didn't tell me. It's Morat. He phoned me up, but he didn't tell me. He said, it's Keith from The Prodigy. And it went like that.
Oh.
Yeah. Morat's put a really good word in for you, I'm really up for it. I want you to join.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, like, The Prodigy are just one of those British acts that just completely... They took music, redefined it, then decided they weren't quite cool with that, and redefined it all over again. And really... I've not known many really heavy metal bands who say could go on and headline the main stage of Download Festival and fill the main stage field. They were amazing. And obviously I'm not sure if you was I don't think you were still with them at the time. But I would have loved to have seen them with you in it, to be honest. I've seen some of the videos, and it looked like a great time. I bet touring with them was a madness, though, wasn't it?
Of course it was. It was, and it never stopped. When Earache tried to put together a tour for JANUS STARK, to launch JANUS STARK, they had a right time because my touring schedule was massive.
Oh, yeah, innit?
So yeah, they had a struggle really, but they managed to. They found one window which was in between tours, and so we had to do a tour between something like January the 2nd and January the 17th or something like that, and we did this tour called the Next Generation Tour, which was with Dub War, and Misery Loves Co, and yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Going back to JANUS STARK stuff, I saw an interesting little thing recently. You guys have had a song in Watch Dogs Legion, the new video game.
Yes.
I've seen a little clip. Haven't managed to play the game myself, but I played the first one and it was great. So
Oh right.
Yeah. Like how did that? How does that even happen? A lot of people are kind of confused as to how you get into a video game like that.
This is really really strange, and I really hate to disappoint, but I literally got an email just land into my Google account just saying Hi, is that GIZZ? Yeah, we want to use this JANUS STARK song, and I didn't even know who the fuck they were. The Watchdog Legion, what's that? I don't know.
Yeah, it's actually a really popular game, to be honest.
Yeah, I know, and I've learned more about it now, of course. But I literally just got the email just saying we really want to use this JANUS STARK song.
For you guys in the chat that don't know yet, the song that was used was Enemy Lines off their first album, The Great Adventure Cigar. Give us
me to play it?
Yeah, give us a little bit of Enemy Lines, GIZZ.
I've seen it all before. You're conveying a message that you used to ignore. Try to trivialize. You hesitate, sedate, but you never analyze. Rebellion customize. You say we're irrelevant, totally insignificant. We're so fucking full of shit. How come it feels so right? I found my way. Found my way through enemy lines. I found my way. I found my way through enemy lines. Yeah, I failed to understand. Downgrade our struggle, what's happening, man? The shout is still the line. Monkey see, monkey do, monkey's never going to. Relevant you are. Well, no one's learned anything from your rule. Punk taught me expression, question, fashion. Be what I am and not about to oppression. Found my way through enemy lines. I found my way through enemy lines. I found my way through enemy lines. Found my way. I found my way through enemy lines. I won't be shut down. Some common sense I've realized in time. I found my way through the enemy line. My way through the enemy. It happened once before. Conveying a message that you ignore. Try to trivialize. Hesitate to date, but you never analyze. Rebellion customize. Say we're irrelevant, totally insignificant. We're so fucking full of shit. How come it feels alright? I found my way through enemy lines. I found my way through enemy lines. I found my way through enemy lines. Found my way. I found my way through enemy lines. My way through the enemy line.
Nice. Well, I was spending the whole time just looking at watching your fingers there. What can I learn from you? Nice.
Yeah, but
well, it all begins with really with a major scale.
Right. Nice. I'm gonna watch that again.
Your fingers just move too fast, man. I'm purely a rhythm guy when it comes to guitar. I'm dyspraxic, so I don't quite manage to get the coordination. I'm the 3 chords and hit it.
Well, I'm more of a jazz guitarist, but yeah, I'm a rhythm guy. If ever I've been on stage with someone that's to play rhythm, I'm not going there to show.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, before, hold on, bear with me. Hold on. Oh, for fuck's sake. This is one of the problems when you get older, your eyes go.
Tell me about it. You watch me checking my phone.
Ain't she sweet? See you walking down that street. Then I ask you very confidentially, ain't she sweet? Ain't that nice? Look her over once or twice. And then I ask you very confidentially, ain't she nice? Just cast an eye in her direction. Oh me, oh my, what a big erection. Oh, ain't she sweet? Don't you think that's kind of neat? And then I ask you very confidentially, ain't she sweet?
Ladies and gentlemen, GIZZ BUTT. I never thought I'd hear you play like that. I never thought. Honestly.
Well, also, sign what I've learned is you just play all kinds of different styles. It'll improve you as a guitarist, it'll improve you as a singer and a songwriter as well. So I'm not surprised. I wasn't expecting it though. So well done. That was fantastic.
Awesome, awesome. GIZZ, mate, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight.
Before you wrap up, I've got one more question.
Oh, yeah, go on, Mark.
Needs to ask is, first of all, so it shouldn't take you very long, but who is GIZZ Puke and what is your relationship with him?
Well, GIZZ Puke is a character played by the British comedian Kenny Everett. Kenny Everett was a zany, super intelligent comedian. He actually had an association with the Beatles. Kenny Everett was part of the gang that were the first wave, like they were a new wave of British DJs, because I think it was 67 when Radio 1 first came along, because before that, people just used to tune into Radio Caroline, which was kind of like an illegal radio station that was actually on a boat. So it was in waters. So they weren't governed by the legal bodies that said you're not allowed to broadcast inland. So they were on a boat. So most of the DJs that actually broadcast on Radio Caroline ended up becoming part of Radio 1. And Kenny Everett was one of those DJs. He was a friend of the Beatles. And when the Beatles used to do those Christmas flexi discs for their fans, I think it was the one in 1968. It was a really, really zany one. And Kenny Everett edited. He actually constructed it. So, yeah, he had a good link with the Beatles. And also he was this zany comedian, very witty. And I think I'm right in thinking, who did he get the huge break for? Fucking hell, I'm trying to remember now. He got a massive break for someone. I don't know if it's David Bowie or Mark Bolt. He got someone a really huge break, but I can't think of who the hell it is. Anyway, so he had his own radio TV show in the 70s, and he had a character called Sid Snot that was supposed to be a punk rocker, but actually looked more like a teddy boy, I guess. But then he had this character GIZZ Puke, and that was the archetypical punk rock.
Oh, I love it. I
was named after him.
GIZZ, honestly, mate, it's been an absolute honor to have you on tonight. Thank you so much for helping us kick this off in the right way. We would love, honestly, when a couple of months' time or something, when you've got some more new stuff out, we'd love to have you.
When I'm a bit more prepared.
Well, yeah.
I've literally just I thought, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a bit of a chat. And then you called me up half an hour before and said, oh, you're going to get your acoustic guitar out then and play for us? And I'm like, don't say that. I'm not prepared. And the problem is, I can't, Chris, our manager, knows. You can't say something to me and I don't act on it. I have to act on it. So that's the worst thing to do to me. It's like, Oh, no, I've got to do it now.
Well, in that case, I'm going to say to you, come and play in Bristol as soon as you're able.
Oh yeah,
You gotta do it
you
now.
know we.
You got to do it.
You
now.
know we're gonna do it. You know we're gonna do it.
And
I'm playing Winnipeg.
I'll go and play Winnipeg as well. Awesome.
Winnipeg.
Winnipeg. I want to play Winnipeg. Obviously, when I go to Canada. God.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if you want to come to Bristol, I'll book out a venue and I'll get it sorted out.
You know that we want to do that. That definitely just please do it. Please.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. We will get this
Absolutely.
sorted, and you know what? I'll put my band on as support for you, mate.
Oh, that's a surprise.
Well, it's no trouble, honestly. It's no trouble.
No. We can have a great time.
Yeah, honestly. Thank you so much, everyone in the chat, for coming and watching tonight. My name's Adam Feasey.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for putting up with me.
This is going to be one of those rare shows that everybody who's seen it once is going to have to watch it a second time.
Yes. Honestly, my name's Adam Feasey. This is Mark David Stallard. Thank you so much to GIZZ BUTT for coming in on the show. You are welcome in the Madhouse anytime, bro. To everyone else, we have one announcement to make. Next week will be a pre-recorded episode, but our special guest will be CJ Wildheart of the Wildhearts.
Wow!
Shock horror!
You can't get any better than that.
Oh,
that
yes.
was fun.
Oh, yes. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tonight.
One more thing. We don't forget the Invisible Man show, 2 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. In the UK. On Saturday, we have a Loose from the Winnipeg rock band Load and Kyle Hauser as well. So there you go. That's my...
I've got to say, you've got a lovely voice.
Well, thank you.
You could be a James Bond actor.
Well, sometimes I think I am when no one's looking.
You could do voiceovers. There's no doubt about that.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
I've come a long way.
Adam, can you hang around with him a bit more? Help your voice a bit.
I'm trying to, mate. I'm trying to. He helps. He helps.
Yeah, he's forced himself on me. That's why we're doing this. So yeah, we love Adam.
Oh, jeez.
Adam Bomb.
All right. Good night, everyone. We will see you next week. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.